So I got a question about my songwriting process, and I figured why not just shed some light on that? Because why not? You know, why not? There are no secrets here. We're just existing in this space together with the time we're given, and that's it. We're just here. No secrets. Anyways, there are two things that I do. The first is um whenever I think of something or I have a lyric that comes to me, I write it down. So right now, here's one of the notebooks I just have lying around. I write it down physically on paper. A lot of people use like the notes app. I do that too when the paper isn't available, but I really like the feel of writing down the words. I don't know why, don't ask me, but I like writing in a notebook, and it's also a cool way to see all of your ideas physically together because I'm all about coexistence and your ideas are existing in the same space, bound together literally. And that's just a cool thing to think about. Anyways, so what I do, I would just write down the lyric, and usually it's literally just one lyric. Sometimes I do, like the most recent song I put out, that was written pretty much in one go. I picked up the guitar and all it was all there. Um, and then so I recorded it with, like on a like voice memos, and I just recorded it and then wrote down the lyrics after because the song was already done. Like the first time I had the idea for it, it was done. It like this, which was actually really cool. And then that's why for the version I released, I really wanted to capture the performance of it because it was very spontaneous, and I didn't want anything really produced, and I didn't want anything too good. So I wanted to keep it imperfect, and I wanted to keep it real, and I wanted to keep it spontaneous. So hopefully you can, now that I've explained it to you, you can kind of hear it in the song. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Anyways, for a lot of other lyrics I have, they're all just here. I let them sit, and um I let them become what they want to become. Um but that takes time, and yeah, for me it takes time. The lyric forms whatever it whatever shape it wants to take on. Um and then the song uh exists around it, and I try to capture it as best as I can. Um Anyway, so for example, one and then I just let it sit. Also, a lot of times I'll write something down and I'll just let it sit, and I'll give it space, and I'll let it exist on its own and grow on its own, and I'll come back to it hopefully and make something of it. Um, so I'll just explain a couple of the ideas I have going on right now. Um, just to, I don't know, maybe you'll find it interesting. Maybe it's a cool insight into my mind. I don't know. But so the first lyric I have just sitting is, and John sang a song about carnations in the summer. And on first hearing it, you're like, who's John? Why is he singing? And why carnations? Why summer? It's a very seemingly very random lyric, but it's actually a reference to John Singer Sargent, the painter, and his Carnation Lily Lily Rose. It's a Oh my goodness, it's a gorgeous piece of artwork. If you've never seen it before, look it up. It's beautiful. Okay, wow. Um, and it's a painting of these two girls lighting lanterns in this garden, and it's called Carnation, Lily, Lily, Rose, which on itself, the title, it has a rhythm to it and a beauty to it in itself. And the word carnation, you're like, wow, that's a gorgeous word. Anyway, so John Singer Sargent and John sang a song, and the painting is called Carnation, Lily, Lily, Rose. So, and John sang a song about carnations in the summer. So there's that lyric. And another lyric I have just cycling up here is, it's kind of like it could be humorous. I guess you call it a funny lyric. But I'm gonna explain it, and maybe you'll see. Well, I think humor is also a good thing to have. Humor can be very important for serious things. Yeah, humor can be a very intimate thing. Anyways, the lyric is, and she made spaghetti out of clay. And yes, I know, that's what I said. You're gonna laugh, but here's a little explanation. First of all, it's a reference to Céline Sciamma's Tomboy, beautiful film. And yeah, so first of all, it's a reference to that film, and as you can tell, a lot of the things that the lyrics that are circulating are taking concepts and ideas and aesthetics and imagery from other works, because art imitates art. See what I did there? That was a joke. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, because I don't know who I am. I'm 17. I have no clue who I am. But I'm trying to compile all of the things I find beautiful and good, and create myself. That's a very existentialist way of thinking about it. That you have to. There's no reason for me to be here. I wholeheartedly believe that, and that's both a blessing and a curse. If you read Sartre or Simone de Beauvoir or any other existentialist, it's a blessing because great, I don't have a purpose, so I can't fail. But also, it's a curse because you have to create your own purpose now. You have to decide what you want to become, and that is scary. Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, let's get back on track. So the concept of when we're kids, so spaghetti out of clay, when we're kids and you're playing with Play-Doh, the Play-Doh, why are you playing with it? It's just the act of creation for creation's sake. It's just, wow, there's no reason that you're creating a worm out of Play-Doh. You're just doing it because it brings you joy and you want to create something. So there's that. It's a very childlike state of mind to create for creation's sake. But then that's mixed with the very domestic adult act of making dinner for someone. When you're married and you make dinners for someone, you're making spaghetti. And so it's the combination of this very mature, I guess you could say, loss of innocence of adulthood and commitment, along with the very playful, along with play. You're being an adult, but you're playful. And I think that's a cool lyric. And she made spaghetti out of clay. Yeah, so there's that. Another thing this one's a little more worked out, this lyric. Another thing that's just going on is, because love only lives in the future, we create it as we go, so maybe yesterday was a Rembrandt and tomorrow a Picasso. And it's just a play on the concept of love and like what even is love. When I think of love is when I say the lyric "love only lives in the future." Love is a constantly changing thing. And then the reference to the paintings, I'll bring that in now. If you imagine love to be a painting, every day you're adding to it. Every day you could be taking away from it. Every day you're changing it. Because that's how it works. That's how love works. It's an act of creation, constant act of creation. And so maybe yesterday was a Rembrandt, and if you're not familiar with Rembrandt, it's beautiful work. So maybe yesterday the painting was beautiful. And tomorrow it's going to be like a Picasso, which is beautiful in its own right. And they're vastly different things, but they're both beautiful. So it's kind of this, and the lyric before the lyric I just told you was, "Did I love you before?" Because right, the Rembrandt was gorgeous. It was beautiful, capital B, but now it's a Picasso. Now the love I feel for you is a Picasso. So what was the Rembrandt? Because right now love to me is so different than what it was even 5 minutes ago. And that's what I mean when I say love only lives in the future, because love is constantly changing. So yesterday when the Rembrandt was the present, the Rembrandt was love. But now we've grown together, we've existed together, we've coexisted together. And now the love is Picasso. So what was the Rembrandt? What was that love? I don't know, because now it's so different. So it's that concept of love is always changing, but and you can't talk about love really in a moment. Love is not a snapshot. Love is motion, and you can't freeze time and say I love you, because love is an act of creation, and it's fluid, and it moves, and it moves in you, and yeah, it exists only in the future, because love is a promise. Yeah. So that's what I was trying to get at with that lyric. Maybe yesterday was a Rembrandt and tomorrow was a Picasso, because maybe, but it's all beautiful, and I just don't know who's to say what love is, because it's always moving, which is a kind of a cool thing to think about. Yeah, it's a cool thing to think about. So that was just a little insight into my mind. That's how I think about lyrics, and yeah, but obviously those aren't songs. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just letting them exist, letting the words exist, and hopefully there will be a concept that grows from it. That's how it usually works with these things. I'll have a concept, I'll have a lyric, and I will let it sit, and I will come back to it, and if I know it's ready when it writes itself. I know that's probably a bad thing to do because there's a lot of hard work, but I know the lyric is ready to be expressed when it writes itself. So all of the songs I've written, a lot of them, there's been that one lyric that's been sitting for maybe a week or a month, 2 months, you know, it depends on the lyric. But once the lyric is ready, the song it just is there, and it the song is written pretty much in one take. Yeah. So, but that's probably why a lot of my lyrics are not good, because I don't really edit them, and I don't have a flushed out process. I just want it to exist, and I think if you think about de Kooning, he's a painter, and the work he does is very he's a gestural painter, as opposed to John Singer Sargent, who painted Carnation Lily Lily Rose in, I believe it was 2 years, like around 10 minutes per day, because he really wanted to capture this light, this time of day, and it was only existing for 10 minutes. So that's also a concept I'm trying to get at, is like when you're trying to capture something and the desire to capture it is so immense that you're willing to spend 2 years, 10 minutes per day attempting to capture it. That is a feat in itself. Wow. Anyways, but like de Kooning, when he paints, it's it's raw emotion, and it just exists. So I guess I would compare. I don't want to compare myself to these people, in no way, shape, or form, but the way I create is very spontaneous, and it's just emotion, and that's why I feel like I can't really edit what comes out, because then I'm not being true. And that's another reason why I let it sit so long, so I can figure out what the truth is. And that's why if I don't know what the truth is, the song isn't gonna be written. And that's why I wait. So, and now we're just waiting. So those are the 3 lyrics that are just there right now. And hopefully sometime soon you all will hear it in a song somewhere, sometime. And hopefully in this life. Yeah. It was a very, very long video. I was going to, like I said at the beginning, there are two ways I write. I was going to do a demonstration of the second way, but we ran out of time.